So I've sorted some blades out. Got so far with them already, but I've got some video of how I've got so far. Roll VT. Oh, that's a bit better. Right, so yeah, sorted out a load of blades to get sent off for heat treating. Now, some of the blades I've just cleaned up, sort of the profiles, drilled them. They're going up as they are because they're going to have a flat grind on. Might put them, send them over to get Cerakoted. I haven't got any Scandi grinds. No, tell a lie. I've got a couple, but they're already, well, one actually, and that's already in my tub for sending. The rest of them are all going to have my sabre grinds on. Now, what I do when I'm doing my processes, you've just seen, I've gone through them. Basically, I'll start off, get the blade. It's already got a stamp on, so that's my logo. And the thing is, I can only take the sabre grinds when I've got a stamp on it up so far with the blade. Otherwise, I end up grinding out my logos. So that one's sorted. Done first of all with a 60 grit. Then I moved on to a 120 grit. I've just finished off with a 240 grit. And then what I usually do is with my polishing stones, get rid of all the blue dicum that I put on every now and again, and then give them a rub down so it's all 320, all scratches in the same direction, and then that's ready to get sent off for heat treating. I think I've got about, what have I got, 20 blades this year? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Sorry, 18 blades there. Which are row stalkers and fallow stalkers, and then I've got one gilly long. This one, I've started it off, done my first initial grind on it, which is basically the same as what it is for the fallow and row stalkers. However, because the gilly's a little bit wider blade, I need to change the angle on it, so I've left this one to sort out on its own, because basically I need to change my jig, which you've seen that I've been working on. Need to change the angle on that, and then I can finish that one off. There's no point changing the angle on my jig and then having to go back and try and do these, because each time you do any little alteration to your angle, it changes for the blades that you're using. It's very difficult to get it bang on, so you're better off doing one batch rather, all the same. So like I say, get this one back onto the grinder, take the first bevel up with a 60 a little bit further, then I can get on to 120 and then 240, and then I should be about right for cleaning it all up. Right, let's get this sorted. So that's it, all sorted down to 240 grit. What I'm going to do next is get rid of all this blue dicum, wipe it all off with a bit of acetone, and then I'm just going to give each one of them a rub down with a 320 stone, just to get all scratches in the same direction. It's the thing about when you're using the belt, sometimes the scratches on the blade, you can get a finer edge with doing it by hand rather than the belt's grits. They seem to be a bit coarse sometimes. I suppose it depends what belts you're using. So a bit of blue dicum, take all that off, get the acetone, get my tub, bit of cloth, and then it's a rub down. Right, so that's the majority of it all cleaned off, and like I say, next thing is onto the stones. Now some of you might be thinking, why are you putting all this effort into making the knife before you send it away for heat treating? Now what my theory is because I'm making sabre grinds for these ones, they've still got the thickness at the back end of the blade, so I'm not too worried about it warping. Now like I say, if I were doing a flat grind, I think I've got some over here, I would still leave it at the same thickness, and all I do is just clean up the edges and just clean up the sides a bit to get the first lot of scratches out. But because I'm doing these on a sabre grind, stamp my logo in, they've still got the same thickness at the back of the spine, so when they are going in for heat treating, and they get clamped together, they've still got something there that'll keep it in the same, well, it's keeping it straight basically. If I'd taken this down and made this a little bit thinner, it's got a chance that it can start lift up or lift down. But because I'm going to keep them with sabre grinds, I always do the work as much as I can as possible before it gets heat treating, because it's a lot easier to do it now than it is after it's heat treated. Right, that's taken me up to the following morning. It took me a while to get all these sorted, but they're all finally done and dusted. So they're all been taken down, like I say, to 320 grit. Some people don't bother taking them down that far before the heat treating. I just find that I can take them down to 320. When I get them back from heat treating, I can just give them a rub down, a bit of hand sanding, clean the edges up, put the final bevel on, and they're pretty much ready to stick handles on. I haven't really got hotels to show this week. Everything's in bits at the moment. But hopefully, if I do get some finished, I'll add some photos on to end. On that, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.